All right.
Maroulis is the last name.
Maroulis.
Sometimes I have to correct.
All right. What's the worst butcher you've heard?
Ever? I don't know. Marsupialis or something.
Marsupialis.
Marsupialis. I think they get into the whole sort of thing. It's like a variation on the kangaroo thing. Margolis.
Margolis, like Cindy.
Not
Margolis?
fun. Who I've been linked with actually over the years for some reason. Yeah.
That's not an awful thing.
No, yeah, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
There's some other ones too, some interesting ones. Maroulis, which is a common one. That's a very common name, but it's not that. It's Maroulis.
It's Maroulis.
Which in Greek means lettuce. Maruli.
So, Constantine lettuce.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
In
Welcome.
fact, I prefer to be just referred to as lettuce from now on. So.
All right. So we're here with Lettuce.
Thank you.
Lettuce, how's Rock of Ages going? Welcome to Cincinnati.
Thank you. We're here in my little dressing room, and great town, man. Excited to be here. 2 weeks we're going to be here.
Yeah. Now, is that nice when you don't have to run city to city, week to week?
Yeah, it is. You settle in a little bit, and I have some friends here, so we're going to have a good time. And I think the show, it allows it to sort of have like, some breathing room. We catch on a little bit, the word spreads, and by the end, it's just like, people are like, oh God, I wish we got to see the show and whatnot. So we're having a good time.
Cool. Congratulations on the Tony nominations.
Thank you.
What was that like when where were you at when you heard it?
Nomination.
Didn't
win.
Right.
But kind of a big deal for me.
Honored to be nominated?
Huge, just huge for me. I grew up as an actor in the theater, and definitely always with my rock star dreams and all that, but really always dreamed of being on Broadway since I was a little kid, and that was the greatest day of my life, sure.
So when you go out on the road, you take this thing out to 60 cities or however many cities you're going to. What's that transition like from being at home, going to the theater every night, to this?
It's actually thrilling, the opportunity to get out there and engage all these new fans and some of the old fans that remember me from American Idol that maybe I haven't seen in certain markets in a while. Brand new cast. It's exciting. It's exciting. I look forward to going to work again every night. I mean, I always did, but it's got a new life now, a new sort of energy and a new cast, and we feed off the energy of the new crowds every night. So it's a blast, and it's a great show, and it's a passion project of mine. So it was really important for me to bring it out on the road.
Cool. Now you played Drew, and Drew's story. Well, give me just the 10-second description of the show.
Well, Drew, my character, he's a Midwest kid. He's the lead in the show. He's a kid who moves out to the Sunset Strip in the mid-'80s after growing up watching all the videos on MTV, all the big rock stars that just leapt out of the TV at him, and he wanted to be that. But he's a little shy, probably comes from a big family, jumped in his car, drove out to the Strip, got a job at the rock and roll club on the Strip called the Bourbon Room, where all the big stars hang out, and they get discovered there. He meets Sherry on her first day in L.A., she's fresh off the bus from Kansas with her suitcase in hand, gets her a gig working at the club also. The club is threatened to close, so we have to put on a big show, bring back the rock star Stacey Jacks for one last show before he goes solo, and madness ensues. It's sort of a boy meets girl love story. It's an insane comedy, and it's told through the songs of that era, from Bon Jovi, Whitesnake, Journey, Poison, Quarterflash, REO, Styx, Pat Benatar. It's endless, and it's all crafted very well into the sort of world of our show.
So
that's more like 20 seconds.
Well, that's fine though. But now, when Lettuce is on stage, Lettuce is on stage,
let us rock.
Let us rock.
Yes.
As in Rock of Ages,
Something
the show.
Yes.
Here through November 7th, through November 7th.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song out there to sing?
Oh, you know what? I'm so lucky. I get to sing tons of songs in the show, and every song is really important to sort of what I'm doing in character up there. So, when I sing I Wanna Rock, by Twisted Sister, it's done in such a way where it's like my character needs to just break out at that point and show this girl what he can do, and she kind of brings it out of him. So that's a great moment for me. The end of Act 1, we sing Here I Go Again by Whitesnake, and it starts in this really sort of intimate place, and then it builds into this huge production number. The whole cast is involved. I get the high note, and the whole thing. So that's a lot of fun. High Enough in Act 2 by Damn Yankees, the super group.
Sure.
Members of Styx and Night Ranger, and of course Night Ranger's a big part of our show as well. And that's a great moment. And of course Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. It's a pretty big deal for me to sing every night too.
And that closes.
And that closes the show.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or something like that.
It might or it might not close.
All the songs
show.
kind of take you by surprise. We don't list them in the program. You're like, what? This song? And then some of them are mashups, as I'm sure your listeners and your fans out there know. It's just a couple of songs sort of mashed together. These great medleys and whatnot. So we're having tons of fun.
Physically demanding at all, this whole Broadway thing? I mean, as far as running in it, do you have to change a lot?
I don't have a ton of costume changes, but everyone else does. But yes, it's extremely demanding. It's extremely demanding on the body, on the voice. But you live for it, and that's what you want. It's like life or death for you. You just love it. And like the ball players, they play hurt every day. You play hurt. I got a banged up foot. I got a couple of jammed up fingers. My voice is a little tired sometimes. But you start hearing that crowd getting revved up out there. The first sort of guitar chords. The band warming up, and you start to get really pumped up, and it's just you just forget about all that and you just rock.
I've heard a lot of different actors come through town that talk about, they kind of peek out at the audience before they go on, and you feed off that energy. I mean, are there nights that are better than others?
Sure. I think our show is definitely a party. It's a rock and roll party, but it's a real Broadway comedy. I mean, it's probably the funniest show that I've ever been a part of, and I've done pretty much the whole repertoire of Broadway and musical theater. It's incredibly funny, and so you feed off the energy of the crowd. But maybe some weeknights are not as insane as the weekends are going to be. Some cities are a little bit crazier than others.
Cincinnati's going to be great.
Cincinnati's been amazing. Some theaters we serve drinks in, some we can't serve the drinks in. We got hot waitresses,
That doesn't suck.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Right in your seat, so that's fun. It's fun when the subscriber that's been at the theater for 40 years is in the seat next to you, but it's definitely a party, but it's a moving sort of love story and comedy as well, and great songs, and it's great to see everyone come together. We bring fans from the rock and roll world, clearly because of the music, but we have the Broadway set, we have the theater set, we have fans of American Idol and all that. So it's a lot of sort of different worlds colliding, and it's love.
Yeah, you talked about your character Drew, moving out to LA with his hopes and dreams. Did you ever live like Drew?
Oh yeah, definitely relate to Drew a ton. I think when you're playing this kind of part where it's not sort of like a caricature, or it's not like an extreme character or anything like that, you have to sort of find like that just grounded kind of truth in it. And yeah, I do relate to him because I did work at all the hip kind of bars in New York and restaurants, trying to even just get a job, get a gig, and I always had a Mick job, I call them, my whole life. So and I come from a big supportive family, and I kind of placed Drew in like a big sort of Midwest family, although I'm from New York, New Jersey. I relate to him a lot, and I draw from lots of different people I've met that are similar, and yeah, man, I'm still discovering things every single night. It's not exactly Tennessee Williams that we're doing, but there is a lot there. And each night, and Rebecca's great, my new Sherry. She's a great actress, and we really connect with each other on stage, and we're always sort of keeping each other, on our toes and whatnot, and we feed off each other really well. So,
did any part of the whole Idol experience prepare you or help you with this at all?
Absolutely. Idol was an amazing experience for me, especially coming from like a conservatory background, but also like growing up playing in bands, and I did Rent for a long time on the road, and the whole experience of living in that kind of bubble, your whole life is just about doing the work on the show, and that's all I ever wanted to do. That's what I was trained for. That was what I did, all the community theater and all the Mick jobs. I mean, that just wanted to be able to have a life that was just about music and about, about the work, you know, about acting, whatever it is, but it definitely prepares you for doing stuff like this, the press, the pressure of sort of performing live in front of 30, 40, 50 million people live on television. I mean, that's pretty insane. And about sort of like preparing your career long term. Yeah, so lots of good stuff.
Cool. Night at the Rock Show? What is that project about?
Night at the Rock Show, that's my new solo endeavor. It's a television special that we're developing, sort of in like the PBS format. It's a celebration of the rock and roll songbook. It's very different than Rock of Ages, which definitely has great songs from rock and roll, but a specific era. This, we span like the entire genre of rock and roll, from the early days of rock and roll up to Bob Seger, up to Green Day and the Goo Goo Dolls. An amazing live band, multimedia production, live concert format, special guests, people that are kind of behind the scenes. The guy who wrote that song that you never really realized that guy wrote that song, and stuff like that. Some nuggets, great arrangements, little storytelling. It's kind of like my rock concert meets Broadway cabaret. Cool. So a lot of fun. Look for that, and the tour and the subsequent DVD, CD. We're working on a new original record right now. I have a new studio in Brooklyn. I'm partners in Sweet Fire Studios. You can check that out online, sweetfirestudios.com. And it's my new recording studio. So I have like the sort of luxury of kind of knocking out a few tracks, going on the road. My guys are coming out to meet me a little bit. We're going to do some more vocals, and no timeline, but just excited about the new stuff.
Very cool. Now, if people want to find you on Twitter or wherever, where we find you?
I'm at ConstantineM. M for Maroulis, so just ConstantineM on Twitter, and ConstantineMaroulis.com. And at rockofagesmusical.com, great website, sort of integrates all the productions of Rock of Ages. We're in New York, of course. Dee Snider's in the show now in New York, playing Dennis, and he's amazing, actually. And we have an Australian company, and we're opening in London, in the Far East. We have a Toronto company. So we're rocking and rolling. We got a movie in the works, and just excited. It's a great project for me, and I can squeeze out maybe a couple more shows. So
very cool.
We'll see.
Well, good luck, and we'll see you here at the Air Enough, man. Thank you.
Man,
Thanks
definitely.
a lot.
Check it out.
Rock of Ages.
All right.